Leandro, well done. Fulham was defending very compact up until you guys scored the goal. So how proud are you of getting this one done?
Very proud. I think it was a really tough game for us. I think especially first half, maybe the quality on our side wasn't there. But we kept fighting, we kept believing, and that's what we said in the dressing room at halftime as well. We only needed one chance, and luckily that went in. And after that, I think we controlled the game.
Yeah, and even the corners, they weren't happening with the quality that usually does it up until your goal. So could you talk us through the goal?
Yeah, we just kept trying because we know the opponents. They try to change their shapes for us. I don't know why. But yeah, at the moment the corner is given, I see Gabi going in a duel. He heads it to the back post and I get the tab in. So I'm really pleased with that goal. And yeah, it's another one for us.
But do you feel it's been more challenging for you guys as a team to score as much from corners? Has it been more challenging?
Yeah, I think, as I said, the opponents, they try to adapt to us. And on the other hand, we try to work hard on that as well to find those solutions, and we found it again today, so we're really pleased with that. Another clean sheet as well, so that's really important, and we need to keep going like this.
And you've been having a really good season, Leandro. What do you feel has been more different? Where did you feel you progressed? Because there's a lot of attention on the right-hand side with Saka and Timber. Do you feel like you can benefit from that as well?
Yeah, obviously. I think we have so much quality in the team. If they try to double up other players, I need to try and take advantage of that. And I try to do that every single game, and to be important for the team. And I'm really happy and pleased that I could be there today as well.
Well, Leandro Trossard did score the decisive goal in the end, and Wright, he could have left the club in the summer, signed a new contract. He's proven to be an important player at times.
Yeah, he is. He's somebody that Mikel's got a lot of faith in. You can see where there's sometimes where you're thinking that he's not going to start him, but he'll start him in certain games. And again, like today, he come up with the goods. He does give Arsenal something else on that left side in respects of retaining the ball and keeping it moving. Whereas, you know, you've got someone like Martinelli who will want to go forward. He wants to use his pace. And he does come up with the odd goal every now and then. Yeah,
he said then only needed one chance. They were his words. That's what Mikel Arteta said to them at half-time. It probably tells us quite a lot about what Wrighty was saying before. This is the way Arsenal play now, isn't it? They keep things tight defensively and they just have to take the chances when they come.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're an attacking player in this team, it must be nice knowing that you don't have to take every chance that you get, because at the back they're leaving gaps left, right and centre, but they don't. Because they're so rock solid, as Leandro Trossard said there, all it takes is one chance. Yep. And even the chance that they created, it wasn't even a proper chance. It was a set play, and it comes off his knee, I think, and he knees it into the net. But again, Arsenal, I expect them in the upcoming weeks to get better, because international break, it's hard coming back and playing a tough fixture as well. 5:30 kickoff against a Fulham side who have obviously lost their last two, but at home have been good. And they managed to do what they needed to do and get the 3 points.
Yeah, he's the 10th different goal scorer for Arsenal this season. Let's take a look at the goal that he did score, Righty. What did you like about this?
Well, it's all about the delivery, Kelly, and where they want to put the ball. The ball is right on the postage stamp in the middle of that box. When you look at where the goalkeeper, you see that little space right there. That's where they're going to all end up. So the ball has to be perfect. It has to come in on that line. It has to come in a kind of a lower trajectory so you can get that little flick that Gabriel got, and then you want people on the back post.
Yeah, but when you talk about this one here, Jimenez and Kearney, two forward-thinking players, they leave Trossard, and I think just because I've been there as an attacking player, when it's forward-thinking, you forget about your defensive responsibilities, and they both do, and they both get caught in between. Raul Jimenez, a striker, Tom Kearney, more of an advanced midfield player, and Trossard just sneaks in between them, and as a tap-in, it's a really clever finish.
7 of 15 goals this season have been scored by corners from Arsenal. We know what they're good at.
Well, yeah, but Kelly, I feel that when you're going to get games like that with Fulham, always cause problems for teams with that mid-block, especially at home. You have to find a way. You have to find a way to win, and I think that's what Arsenal are going to have to do until they can get into their stride and beat teams more, maybe entertainingly. But for now, the main thing is to get the points on the board, so then you could keep the pressure on, like Liverpool, who've got to play tomorrow. It
is a skill, though, isn't it? We can kind of scoff at it, but they've become very good at it.
But that's the thing, and I don't understand why other teams don't pay it the respect it deserves, because it can get you out of jail, ultimately, because Arsenal can have games like this and where they're not really creating too many opportunities and you're thinking, where's the goal going to come from? But because they're so strong at it and they work at it, even the opposition now are thinking to themselves, every time they get a corner, oh no, here we go again.
There's a lot of skill involved, you know, like we just saw it there with Saka's ball has to be perfect, just like when Declan Rice is taking. The ball has to be perfect because people have got certain places where they've got to get there at the right time so as then you can get the flick, and it's not easy.
No.
It's not easy. People can scoff at it and that, but it's not an easy thing to do. There's a lot of skill involved.
Yeah. Welcome back to Premier League Live, where Arsenal have just beaten Fulham by 1-0 at Craven Cottage to send them back to the top of the Premier League. A narrow win, but it could have potentially been a slightly bigger win had they been given the penalty, Wrighty, that was originally given on field, but then VAR saw it overturned. Did you think that this was the correct decision?
You know what, Kels, the margins we're dealing with, and we're dealing in the minutiae of like fouls and touches. Then when you look at this, obviously right now it looks like, oh, that's a penalty straight off the bat. But then what we see is that we see him get a little touch on the ball. But what they should show is the contact on the knee first. And I'm talking about dealing with the margins. Now, there it is there, right? And then, you know, we're dealing with, like, when you look at this ball, look at the margins of where he touched the ball, it's the same.
Yeah.
So how can it not be a penalty for the touch on the knee, but it can be not be given for that minuscule touch on the ball? I'm confused with it now.
I guess the thing with this, though, is it a clear and obvious error as well?
Well, he's had to kick through Saka to get the ball because Saka's in full flow motion, and that knock on his knee, and however slight it is, knocks him off balance enough, and then he wins the ball. So I always thought if you kick through a player to get the ball, then it's a foul. So, but unfortunately, again,
I don't agree with the touch, how light the touch is, because that's what they're giving penalties for. Like, he's not giving that penalty for, like, OK, he's touched his knee there, so that's a touch.
Yeah.
Right, that's thrown him off balance. And then look at the touch on the ball.
Yeah.
Can that touch, even the slightest of touch that we're seeing there, that will have thrown him off balance?
Well, the thing about it is, it's not even a case of, it's as he touched the man before the ball, because Saka's gone over. And that's what we're talking about. People can say, well, is it enough of a touch? It's a touch. Just like it's not a penalty because of the minute touch he's had on the ball.
Yeah, I think as well with Saka as well in his body position, the way he's going away, his next touch is a shot. So obviously the contact knee to knee, however slight it is, knocks him off balance enough for him not to get the shot off. So it's one of them where I don't quite understand the rules, but if we're going by the margins we've seen in other games, that's a penalty.
So you're also saying that because of the position he was in, it would have been preferable to him to have stayed on his feet?
Of course it would, because his next one's a shot.
Yeah.
His next one's a shot on goal.
With his favoured left foot.
Yeah, but Arsenal didn't let it deter them, did they? I know you were getting a bit nervy at that point, Brighty, but they did kind of dig in.
Yeah, they did, and the reason why you're getting nervous is because last season, especially when Liverpool were dropping points, Arsenal weren't picking points up. And we saw when Liverpool dropped points the other week and Arsenal won the game. And that's what they've got to do this season. It's something they haven't done the last couple of seasons. They've been chasing, but when they've had the opportunity to put a marker down, they haven't done it. And I think that they've done it in the last few games, especially coming off of an international break. It's a game that they had to win. You know, they've got a run of games now where they have to try and pick up points.
OK, well, a good evening for Arsenal, but not so good for Fulham. Let's now hear from their manager, Marco Silva.
What are your feelings after that? Disappointment, frustration?
Of course, when you lose a game, it's always a disappointing one. I really believe that our start of the game and our first 30 minutes, they were at very good level. We did create chances to score before Arsenal start to have some control of the game. I really believe after 30 minutes of the game, last 15 first half, they were more on it than ourselves. But until that moment, into chances with Harry Wilson, he should have created a score in one moment. And our first corner was a great chance for us. In my opinion, the ball was going in direction of the goal, a deflection in one player. Well prepared corner from ourselves. And of course, we knew that it's going to be easy, going to be easy. Tough team to play against. They were going to push us a little bit more, but I think we kept them away from big chances most of the time of the game.
3 defeats in a row then for Fulham. But as for Arsenal, Atletico Madrid in the week, then the Ian Wright derby on Sunday. They've got Crystal Palace in the Premier League, but it's set them up nicely, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has done. I mean, a tough performance today against Fulham. Then, again, not a welcome break, but a different mentality in terms of the Champions League. And then back to a really, really difficult game against Crystal Palace, who are absolutely flying at the minute. So it's a testing time, but I think they've got a run of fixtures now where you'd expect Arsenal to get more positive results than not.
I know they've got a few injuries at the moment, the likes of Madueke, Odegaard, of course, being out too. But do you feel like the squad is equipped now to be able to continue on this run?
Very much so now. And this is why I think that a lot of Arsenal fans are very optimistic about the chances this season, especially with the way that games have been won. In games that I mentioned that, we probably didn't pick up points in and lost points when we shouldn't have. So there's a lot more confidence about Odegaard being missing, even Saka being taken off in certain games, because there's people who are coming in who can adequately fit in.
You can put your feet up and watch Liverpool tomorrow without having to worry.
I'm going to do that, I hope that they don't pick up any points.
But it's all right, because regardless of what happens tomorrow, Wrighty, Arsenal will end.
Congratulations, Bukayo. I hope you can hear us all right on that. The delivery again, and another important 3 points. But it took your team a while to get going tonight. Tell us what that's like when you come back from international duty, presumably not too many training sessions, but yet everybody's expecting you to hit the heights straight away.
Yeah, obviously it's a lot of expectation on us. We know that, and we didn't start the game how we expected and how we wanted to. But we have the experience now to understand. We've come here a few years and not got the results that we wanted. But today we were able to turn that around and show that we can win in the end. So everyone in change, I'm so happy with that.
Does it feel like a significant victory to you, Bukayo?
Yeah, for sure. Even if it doesn't to others, it does to us. The season. We beat Newcastle, who we struggled against in the past away. West Ham as well, who we had problems with at home. And now Fulham away, we've struggled with. So it's points that we've been picking up that in recent seasons we haven't been picking up. So we're happy with this result.
Bukayo, Jamie Redknapp, congratulations. I thought from your point of view, it was a real captain's performance today because it wasn't easy. First 20 minutes, you had a bit of battle with Sessegnon, and then you really started to come into your own, started to run the game, started to deliver great crosses and little bits of individual play. Did you get that feeling as well?
Yeah, I got the feeling. It was a tough start to the game, but in my mind, it's like I just want to get the ball and, make things happen. And even if I miss one, I miss two, I'm going to keep going. And, I grew into the game and I felt I had a good performance in the end, which I'm happy with.
Talk us about that set piece. Obviously, corners are a huge part for you. After 8 games last season, you had 3 goals from corners. This year, you've already got 7. Great delivery from you. And you've obviously helped when you've got Gabriel attacking it.
Yeah, it helps. We've got some big guys in the box. And, at the start of the game, I took some rubbish corners, I was quite disappointed. But, I kept going. I think this is the 4th one. And, I put it in. And, it was a nice delivery. Gabriel got the touch. And, obviously, Leo got the goal. So I'm very happy with that. Sorry?
Why do you think you were taking rubbish corners, in your words?
Did you not see them?
Yeah, but I'm guessing you practiced this skill over and over to land it in that right spot.
Yeah, it's something we work on a lot. It's quite clear, we're quite good at it. We have high standards for ourselves, and like I said, I was happy with the ones in the end, which helped us get the goal.
Bukayo, I want to talk about the penalty incident. You looked a bit perplexed, obviously, when it was given and then not given. Your face is telling me everything there. What's your feeling? Because Kevin obviously has a little nibble at you and then you get a touch. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, for me, it's a penalty, Of course, I understand he touched the ball, but I felt a big contact on my right knee, before he touched the ball. And for me, any contact in the box like that is a penalty. But the decision's been made. I don't want to dwell on it. It's happened in the past. I don't want to dwell on it. Let's just move forward. We got the 3 points, and that's my opinion.
Bukayo, I'd love to get an insight in the training ground, in team meetings with the manager, or just even around the training ground with the players themselves. For me, I really see a different mentality to Arsenal so far this season. I see a real belief within the players that you can go and win the Premier League, especially with the quality that you've added in the summer as well. Do you see that shift, or is there a mentality shift that you can really go that one step further this season and do it?
Yeah, we believe, and the mentality is simple, it's winning in any context. There'll be games where we're dominating possession, there'll be games where we're struggling, the game's on top of us, sometimes we might have to defend, it's any context, we win. That's the mentality for us, and we showed that today, we started poor, and in the end we won. So yeah, that's what we're trying to do this season, and that will help us get over the line, I think.
But I wanted to ask you, Bukayo, as well, as one of the best attacking players in the Premier League, what do you think when people say, that Arsenal are where they are because they're strong defensively, or they are a defensive team? What's your take on that?
To be fair, it's fine, People are always going to have their opinions. People are always going to talk. In the end, it's up to us to show it. So I don't mind. I feel like the numbers, myself, the rest of the attackers that we've got in the past, recent seasons, some of the best in the Premier League. So, like I said, people can say what they want, but in the end, we just want to win. Yeah.
You've done that job. Well done tonight. Thanks so much for talking to us, Bukayo.
Hard-fought win. How proud are you when the team gets wins like this, like tonight?
Yeah, it's very good. Really tough place to come. Really good sign. We knew that. We experienced it in the last few years. I think we've done a lot to win the game. We put a lot into it, and we had some difficulties, some giveaways in the first half and certain transitions. I think we overcome that and became much more dominant through the game. And it was against a really good organized team, insisting, being like a hammer in a reaction. And at the end, through that and insisting, we find a way to score the goal.
Yeah, you mentioned the giveaways in the first half. There was some really good defending from them as well. They were very compact. But what do you feel it was difficult, took you time to really get going that first half?
Well, the simplicity in certain aspects with the ball, especially that we gave the ball away and allow certain transitions. Then we have to change a little bit the structure as well to facilitate certain things for us, and that gives us more fluidity as well, and then it takes time as well. Against that block, the longer it goes with a 0-0, not even if they score a goal, because they've been together for many years and they know how to adapt that. But we created some big chances as well, and we scored a few more goals. So overall, very happy.
And with Trossard scoring, how much do you feel like he's benefiting from Martinelli scoring when he has the chances and the other way around? Because the team's obviously benefiting from it.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of goal scorer already very early in the season, which is great, spreading the goals and not just relying on a player to do the job. That's a big strength of us, another clean sheet, which is really good to see, so very happy.
One of the... Bless you, Mikel.
Bless you.
Yes. Don't worry. A lot of talk around Trossard and Martinelli because they've both been delivering. They call it a good problem for the manager. How's it been for you this season? Because you've never had so many options. How's it been for you to manage the players that want more time?
A joy. Because that's what we want, to be better as a team and to have players with that mindset, state of play. And you put 2 examples, I can name so many. Christian, you ask him to play the last 5 minutes and he plays the best 5 minutes that he can play. And that's what we need, and very happy with that.
How did you feel about the penalty shout? Well,
the only thing I was saying, is it clear and obvious if it takes that long? That's the only thing. I just been told that it wasn't a penalty, so that's it. They made the right call. It's just I was a bit surprised with how long the process took, but they explained the reason why, so let's move on.
Fulham, before that, West Ham, Newcastle. Before the match, we were talking about these important wins against so-called bogey teams. What does it say about the process, the maturing process of this team?
Yeah, and learning from that side. At the end, you have to put it, and winning or drawing a game, sometimes it goes through very small details that today we managed better than we did a year ago, but we need to continue. It's very early.
Yeah, it's very early, and finally, still October, but the fans were obviously exciting, chanting, we're top of the league. This very time last year, you guys dropped some important points between October and November, so how important is it, even if it's still October, to hold on to that lead?
3 weeks ago, we went to Newcastle. If we lose in Newcastle, the Premier League is over. So that's the narrative, that's the demands in this league, so try your best and win as many football matches as you can. There's no secret to that.